Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got the time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Ayo, Jay. Ayo, Jay.
Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't draw the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't draw the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now, told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog, yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk, don't care what they say. I don't got no patience, I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it, running up all these digits. And I've been in the gym, I've been up doing minutes. I just put in that work, told them it's strictly business. And I see through the face, they all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't draw the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't draw the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it, dog, like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't draw the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't draw the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. What is going on, Mafia? We're back, and here we are as Bitcoin is getting a little bit of a bounce off of some very specific key levels. And we're going to be talking about shout out to Bitcoin Henry. I thought you were Tom Crown popping up in the chat for a second. You just threw me off. You guys, I think, have similar profile pictures. You just threw me off. But what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another amazing live stream. We're going to be breaking down Bitcoin on today's show. We got that bounce from the key level that we've been looking at. The question is, are we out of the water here with that money flow in the red on the daily? And are we going to see that fake out into the green for that bigger move to the upside, potentially hitting new all-time highs? Or are we more likely to get that next lower high and a bigger move to the downside? I'm going to be breaking it all down on tonight's live stream. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. We got Mike Vito in the chat. What is going on, Mike? Thank you for being here. We got Darren Does Things. What is going on? Shout out to Dev said, Frankie's back. Like that hat. Glad you're good. Bing bong. Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, sorry about the no stream on Friday, guys. Unfortunately, I had some stuff to take care of, but we're here back for another fresh week of trading this thing they call Bitcoin. And I want to go over kind of how we got to where we are right now and what the next likely steps for Bitcoin is, or are, I guess I should say. Like I said, are we going to get that fake out on the money flow back into the green? This is something we've been looking at for the past few weeks. Is that likely to happen, or are we much more likely to see a lower high and a bigger move to the downside? I'm going to cover both the bearish and the bullish case, try to give you guys which way I'm leaning, which right now is still kind of somewhat neutral, but I'm going to talk about some key signals on the chart that may give us some insight into where price will go next. So don't forget to smash that like button, guys. Every 100 likes we get on this live stream will give you guys some extra chances to win some free crypto and some free Frankie Candles hats. Because of my canceled stream on Friday, we will be doing like a super giveaway this Friday, as we already have two weeks of giveaways to do inside of one live stream. So we're going to be doing that on Friday. It's going to be like a triple giveaway. We're going to give away Frankie Candles hats. We're giving away some XRP. We're giving away our typical Cardano bags, those 10 Cardano bags, which are now a little bit more stacked up, a little bit of a bigger bag for the Mafia. But with all that being said, guys, that's all we got for the housekeeping here. We got a lot to look at on Bitcoin. Show the mod some appreciation in the chat if you love them as much as I do. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Here we go. Hey, shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, good day, good sir. I and my fellow associates were thinking of joining your ruckus band of merry makers, but tell us, what's your live stream spaghetti policy? The theater would not let us bring our own spaghetti in. Yes, no. Shout out to Creighton C. So this is how it works here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. Shout out to Creighton. It is BYOS, bring your own spaghetti. But if you don't have your own spaghetti, we can't give you spaghetti, but we will be giving extra sauce as we do every single weekday right here. Shout out to Creighton C, bro. Thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate you more than you know. And tell those theater people, tell those ushers to sit down. You bring in as much spaghetti as you want, and I'll just add that sauce. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. But let's go ahead and jump on in here, guys, as Bitcoin is getting this bounce. Now, if you guys watched the live stream at any point last week, you guys will know that we've been looking at this technical range between about 59,088 and then obviously our high up here at about or just literally at the all-time high here, sitting at 73,000, almost 74K, 73,951 to be exact. And what we were looking for on last week was, number one, we have to realize that we are still potentially at risk of putting in a lower high and coming a little bit deeper down here, guys, and that is simply just based off of our daily money flow crossover into the red. This is not what you want to see here on the daily money flow, especially with that VWAP rolling over. Now, we are going to get into how likely that fake out might be to occur, because as you guys know, like just for anybody who has not watched for the past week or something, or maybe you're just completely new to the channel, and if that is the case, please, for the love of God, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications, so you don't miss any of our live streams or market updates or any of the other pre-recorded tutorials that we give here on free education on how to make you guys profitable traders. But as you guys know, we've been kind of stuck in this debacle with our money flow on the daily, and I would love, shout out to CryptoFace. CryptoFace was in here the other day, and I was asking him what he thinks, and he's like, I don't know, man, you're pretty on track here. So I assume he thinks something similar to me, but I would love to know his thoughts on this money flow. I gotta hit him up on Discord or something. But you guys know we're kind of dealing with this, I don't want to say dilemma, but we're dealing with this money flow on the daily coming to the downside, crossing over into the red, which typically makes us anticipate a deeper move to the downside as the money flow indicates the longer term trend. And as you have that fresh crossover into the red, if that VWAP crosses over, it gives us a fresh red dot, and we see that money flow wave come deeper into the red, we are going to anticipate that longer term trend is going to continue to the downside. However, there is a little bit of a caveat here, guys, as obviously, as we've been talking about all last week, we are at that point in the cycle that is very likely to give us money flow fake outs into the red before coming back up into the green. And I want to go over this a little bit, not just on the daily, but also on the 2 and 3 day. I want to go back in time and show you guys kind of how these money flow crossovers behave typically when we're at this point in the cycle. Now, I think it is important to realize that this cycle is slightly different with us putting that new all-time high in right before the halving. So obviously, just looking at history is not going to guarantee that you're going to see things match up exactly as that happened in the past. However, I do just want to go back and compare this because, as you guys know, it's kind of the dilemma we're dealing with, right? Because technically looking at this chart, this would make me anticipate a lackluster bounce to the upside to put in a lower high and then continue back to the downside to put in a new lower low, cracking these lows here. And that is just basically what you would anticipate looking at this chart if we were not taking into account that we are potentially on the cusp of starting a brand new parabolic bull run. And if that is the case, we have to be prepared for one of these fake outs. And I've shown this many times in the recent past. As you guys can see here, actually, if I pull up the cycle chart and we come all the way back here to the 2020 halving, which is right here in May of 2020. Typically, when we get past that halving, guys, we do not spend a lot of time here in the red with money flow, not only on the daily, but when we go up to these higher time frames, I also want to talk about some of these higher time frames potentially pointing towards the upside as well, and kind of how they have behaved with money flow in the past. However, as we look here, you can see on the daily, once that halving occurs, we see money flow come out here. We fake out into the red just slightly, right back into the green, and then every other time throughout the entire rest of the bull market, we really never saw that money flow go back into the red, right? We kind of came down close to the zero line, back up into the green, back down. This would have looked bearish at the time, but then we just got support and we kept on going on as price continued to make higher highs. And simply put, guys, we are just in a very similar situation right now, especially with the daily, right? We have the money flow coming into the red, but is this going to fake out? Like I said, we are in that area where it is a high likelihood of a potential money flow fake out into the red before that next big leg up. And I was talking to the premium Discord earlier today, talking about how this kind of area of price action is really starting to remind me of this back in January when we slipped this little value area low here. I could even pull up the actual range. We slipped that value area low before putting in some bullish confirmations, and I am still long from this exact point here, just under $40,000. And this is somewhat reminding me of this is reminding me almost exactly of that point in January where we had that money flow coming out. We were also anticipating, it was kind of the same exact situation where it's like, hey, binarily, this looks like bearish money flow. However, if we look at where we are in the cycle, there's a high likelihood of a fake out into the red before coming back into the green and getting our next leg up. Simply put, excuse me, I did take that long, still holding it. Excuse me. But we wound up calling that fake out almost perfectly, and we did get that bigger move up that we were looking at. Now this time is a little bit more unclear, but it could be a very, very similar situation where we kind of slip that range, reclaim, and then get a bigger move to the upside. And this is the bullish case. I'm sorry, not the bearish case. This is definitely this is the bearish case. Then I don't know. I don't want to know what the real bearish case is, but this is there's two key levels that we must remain above, guys. And I'm going to talk about those in just a second. But overall, guys, if this money flow plays out the way we would think, we have to anticipate the lower high. And one thing I will point out here is if we pull our let me move this. If we pull our golden pocket retracement from the most recent high here all the way to the low, you can see we have already come up and retested that golden pocket 786 retracement. So we could be potentially at risk of putting the lower high in here. However, for the most part, as long as we remain above this value area low, guys, which is sitting at about $62,274 currently, as long as we're able to remain above this level, this could potentially give us the room to get that move closer to that POC and potentially the value area high. So in my opinion, guys, obviously, if we're going to see that daily money flow play out in a bearish manner, we're going to have to lose this value area low, and then eventually, obviously, lose this SFP wick that we just reclaimed at $59,088, and that would likely lead to the bigger move to the downside, which would make me look down to our next key levels, coming in closer to between about $51,000 to $52,000. However, it is somewhat of a good sign here, because as you guys know, we have, let me come down to a little bit of a lower time frame, take a look at the 4-hour here. As you guys know, the two major levels that we needed to flip to support in order to get this bigger move up was the SFP wick at $59,088. And we kind of talked about the difference between and I was talking about this in the premium Discord earlier. We were talking about the difference between the technical range, which I would say is either, the range low right here, which I guess is now down here, but this range low right here at $59.88, and then the all-time high at $73,951. This is our technical range, not to be confused with our value area. All the value area is where 70% of the volume was traded, right? 70% of all volume traded was in between this value area high and the value area low of the volume profile, right? Or the value area. So you have your value area range, and then you have your technical range, right? And simply put, all that happened here, the reason why we needed to flip this level to support to get that bigger move up was simply because it was the range low, right? We slipped it. We put some bullish confirmations in down below here. We did have the long setup in the premium Discord. Shout out to the premium Discord. We took a live trade with the premium today, and that is currently up 4%. Oh my God, we're rich. But no, shout out to the premium Discord. That trade is starting to play out just a little bit here. Nothing too crazy. We will talk about that in just a second. But we had to flip this key level, and I want to show you guys this because this is like people say TA doesn't work, right? There's some people out there that just think TA doesn't work. It's all fake. It's all magic. It doesn't make sense, and it's just useless. But there was a reason why we were looking for a reclaim of this level in order to get the bigger move to the upside, and we got that beautifully, right? And we got the bigger move up, and now we are simply attacking that value area low. So at this point, guys, as long as we're able to remain above this level, I do think there is a chance that we can, technically the door is open to come up to that POC and value area high, understanding that we are at risk with that money flow coming out, right? It's very hard for me to say. If we were at any other point in the cycle and the daily money flow looked like this, I would simply be calling for lower prices, right? But because of where we are, I can't just say we're going down, right, and take a big bet on that because I just know that, same thing here. I was saying the same thing. It's like this looks bearish, right? Especially if you go into bar replay mode, which we've done in the past, this looks like a bearish money flow, right, on the daily, especially with the daily bearish divergence confirmed here. We got the 20% pullback. Money flow was coming out. Binarily, this would make you expect lower, but because we knew that it was likely to get that fake out into the red on that money flow, we did take that long down here at 40K, and we wound up getting that big move up. Unfortunately, there is no way to guarantee whether we see that fake out or not, so we kind of just have to tread lightly here. So I am still holding my short from the POC, which, as you guys know, I've shown this many times. Short is almost entered exactly on the POC here. I have taken profits here as it has come down about 15%. I've already locked in profits. So the thought here is I will hold this short trade in case we do wind up getting that VWAP to come down on the daily and that money flow crossover to come in heavy and give us that bigger move down. I am covered on the short side. And then if we do wind up coming up here, I will stop out at break even. And then my longs from lower will simply pay me out, as well as the little scalp long that we took in the premium Discord. So with that being said, guys, I do want to cover, I want to turn off the TA here for a second and just cover the higher time frames, right? Because these are, although they do take time to play out, these are going to be the things that generally give us that next big move, right? That next general direction on Bitcoin. And right now, the weekly VWAP is, there's nothing really to write home about in my own personal opinion, but the VWAP is coming up here. Once that gets a little closer to the 0 line, it will give us that green dot on the daily. And actually, we'll talk about that. Shout out to, I forget who asked about it, but somebody asked in the kitchen chat. They were saying, somebody let Frankie know that the green dots, we actually talked about this on Thursday, the green and red dots print. I'll be honest, I don't know why these print, when these print exactly, because sometimes it looks like they print on the VWAP crossovers, and then sometimes it looks like they print on the light wave crossing over the dark wave, or the dark wave crossing over the light wave. But there are also some times where you get those two waves crossing, right? You have a cross here, but there's no red dot there. It wound up coming the next candle. But basically what I do here, guys, is I use the VWAP to anticipate the green dot coming in, right? Whatever specifically prints the green dot, I'm not sure. But when that VWAP is coming up, this is the beauty of Market Cypher. It allows you to kind of not front run signals, but it lets you anticipate what's going to happen next because of the directional nature of it. So with that VWAP coming up, as long as we keep creeping towards that 0 line, it could mean that a longer term trend may continue up if we are going to get that money flow fake out into the red. But moving on down here, the 4-day green dot is so close to printing, and then your 3-day green dot is confirmed, and your 2-day green dot has all. Your 3-day red dot is printing, and your 2-day 3-day green dot is printing, and your 2-day green dot is confirmed. Money flow still coming out here, and again, this would be binarily bearish. But if we come on back to that 2020 level here, or that 2020 price action back here, you could see even on the 2-day price tends to get pretty close to that 0 line after the halving. I'll pull up the cycle chart too, just so you can have an eye on where the halving was. But that 2-day, as you can see, halving happens, we basically just kind of go sideways. Money flow gets real close to the crossing over into the red here. We come right back up into a green wave. We fake out almost into the red here again, right back into a bigger green wave. And for the most part, we kind of just went sideways. We never got the dump that this money flow coming down would make you expect. So, and unfortunately, I mean, I hate that that's where we're at right now in the cycle, but that just kind of makes right now really hard to read. But again, this is exactly how I'm handling things. That's why I like to show exactly the trades that I'm holding, explain to you guys why I'm holding them, when I plan on stopping out of them, where I have my stop loss or where I manually stop myself out at. I like to walk you guys through that, right? Because it's very hard to give a binary up or down answer, especially right now with where we're at in the cycle. But if I can't give you guys a decisive answer, I like to show you exactly what I'm doing, thinking that it might give you guys a little bit of help and a little bit of clarity into what is likely to happen next. Shout out to Blockchain Domain. Thank you so much for that super chat, bro. I appreciate you. He says, besides holding the levels of support, how do we know when price is breaking through the value area low or the value area high and finding a new range versus respecting the current range? Shout out to Blockchain Domain. That is an amazing question, and there are a few different ways that you can do it. I'm not going to go into like a full explainer right here, but basically how I like to do it is money flow, right? This is typically how I do it. The reason why I took the reason that I took the short off the POC here, which obviously wound up playing out beautifully, the reason I took this short is because you might be thinking to yourself, if price is bing-bonging sideways and money flow is coming out, or if you're just saying like price is bing-bonging around here in the value area, why would I not be expecting to get a reclaim of the value area low, move to the POC, and then a move back up to the value area high? Right? Why was I expecting a continuation to the downside here? And that's simply based off money flow, right? So this is kind of one way you can anticipate whether you should either be not only if you should be looking for longs at the value area low or on a deviation of the value area low, but also whether, if you do see a long position here, should you be looking for it to ride up to the high, or should you be careful of a lower high coming in before a move back down? And this is simply based off money flow, right? So, as price came down here, we saw signals to go long, but I planned on closing my long, which I did, once we got up here, and I flipped short based off money flow. So money flow is one way to do it. Another way to do it is to just simply look at the volume coming into the market, right? And really analyzing price within your key levels, right? Because if price comes back up to this value area high, and I don't see on the order flow that we have a lot of buying interest, yet price is coming up here and starting to pump, and I see on the order flow that longs are closing. Shorts are closing, right? Indicating that they're getting stopped out or liquidated, and I don't see any general buying interest. That would indicate to me that this spike above this value area high is not driven off of genuine buying volume, but rather shorts getting stopped out of their positions. And you might ask yourself, Frankie, if you get stopped out of a short, why would price go up? And that's just simply because when you get stopped out of a short or liquidated out of a short, it creates a market buy, which is literally what causes short squeezes, right? So if I see price come up here, it's an if this, then that statement. So yes, we have resistance here. Yes, this is where we look for shorts, right? But I guess your question here, Blockchain Domain, is how do I know whether, if we come up here, how do I know whether we're getting an actual breakout to higher prices, or if we wind up coming up here? And really the answer is, do you have confirmations to take a short, right? If there's no confirmation to take a short up here, which obviously we have all different kinds of confirmations that we can look at, but if I don't get short confirmations up here, I simply don't take the short, and I anticipate to hold the level and continue up. But it would be like a whole dedicated stream to go over all those confirmations. We do go over that a lot in the premium Discord, but simply put, if I don't get the confirmations up here, I will simply not look for if I don't get the short confirmations, I don't look to short the value area high. And yeah, with the shorts getting stopped out, that's kind of a specific confirmation. But you can look at the order flow to see if there's natural buying interest, or if it's just shorts getting stopped out, causing that buy pressure, and then you're likely to reverse back to the downside. That's typically how I do it. But yeah, we go over that a lot in the premium Discord. Shout out to Harry Potter. Let's go. Shout out to you, brother. Dropping those Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. I heard if you get a gifted membership from Harry Potter, you do get special powers. So shout out to my boy, Harry Potter. Thank you for gifting those. And shout out to everybody who just got a membership. And it's actually a law. It's a universal world law that if you get a Frankie Candles membership, you have to be, hello, Harry. Shout out to Bullish Bradley. You have to be subscribed to the channel. Otherwise, it will bring you bad luck. I'm just kidding. I wish you all good luck whether you're subscribed or not. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Shout out to Andy, says Harry. Harry Potter. But yeah, shout out to Blockchain Domain, says thank you. Shout out, Domain, are you in the premium? Why do I feel like you're in the premium Discord? I don't know if you are, but we do go over that in the premium Discord, but I'm happy to go over it a little bit here and there on the, obviously on the YouTube live streams, but that's typically how I do it, right? Do we have a lot of volume here? A lot of buyers coming in? If so, then maybe you get the breakout. If not, it's probably going to be a fake out and a reversal to the downside. And that is really the key of knowing when to short the value area high or when to long the value area low. And again, in this specific confirmation, the money flow was letting us know we could long because the lower time frames looked good, but with that daily money flow coming out, and the golden pocket sitting right on that POC, acting where we would likely get the lower high, this made it look like, hey, I'll long this, but I'm probably closing this at the POC, and then I'm going to look for shorts up here. We got the confirmation for a short, and I took it, right? And that money flow coming out made me anticipate the move down and a break out of the value area. So hopefully that makes sense. We're giving it all away for free here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel, on the free YouTube live stream. Let's go. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Harry Potter. Shout out to Hassan says, what do you expect instantly on the lower time frames? I mean, if I really had to take a random gamble here on the 1 minute, I would say money flow. This is like such a loaded question. Shout out to Hassan. But yeah, I would anticipate this money flow crossover on the 1 minute to give you a move to the downside. That's if I was just like gambling on the 1 minute there. But shout out to Kay. Thank you for the super chat. Said there is a red dot on the monthly chart. Isn't that bearish on a higher time frame? Yeah, shout out to Kay. K-E. It's kind of like KT, but without the T. Shout out to Kay. But no, yes, guys, we do have a monthly red dot. Now, this is something I'm looking at. And again, if that money flow does wind up playing out in a bearish manner, this would make sense to play out. But not all monthly red dots give us big moves down. You can see this monthly red dot here actually kind of just resulted in sideways action before getting another leg to the upside. Now, this is a different situation here on this current red dot because we are now overbought, right? We are not overbought at this area. We've come up a lot since then. So this is something else that I am looking at. You know, again, if that money flow is going to play out as we would expect, meaning giving us a bigger move to the downside, that red dot on the monthly is going to be something that we look at, right? Or something that is in agreement with that daily money flow crossover into the red. So yes, this is bearish, but the monthly takes a long time to play out, right? Like even this red dot didn't really give you much. This green dot kind of gave you an instant move to the upside, but these time frames take a much longer time to play out. But it would be in line with that daily money flow crossover, right? So if that money flow crossover continues into the red and we get that bigger move down, then you may start to see that red dot play out. But again, we have to understand where we are in the cycle. So just understand that, like even here, you had the red dot, right? And we did get a big move down, but then we just went up to make another new all-time high. So it's kind of hard. I don't trade based off these higher time frame signals. I use these to find confluence with my lower term signals, right? So yeah, that's basically, I do see that. And to be quite honest with you, I guess you could technically call this a bearish divergence, right? You do have the higher highs on your price action, the lower highs on your momentum waves. So that is there. But I mean, this is kind of a wide divergence. I'm not like super freaking out over this. I'll say that, right? Now, maybe if it winds up like nuking to the floor where you're like, okay, maybe that monthly bear div had something to do with that. But yeah, I am looking at this. I am aware of it. But again, you know, we're traders, right? So like I am open to the downside and the upside. And to me, this is simply just a bearish puzzle piece. And then I take those bullish and bearish puzzle pieces and then I find out which side has the most evidence, and then I just decide to trade on the end of whatever has the most evidence, right? So if there's a bunch of bullish puzzle pieces, there's way more bullish puzzle pieces than bearish, then I will lean a little bit more bullish. But again, this is just a bearish puzzle piece, and because of the likelihood of the money flow fake outs here, it's hard for me to kind of like really lean in and say like that's super, super bearish. From a chart perspective, yes, 100%. Monthly red dot with the money flow crossover on the daily and the 2-day money flow coming out the way it is not the best look. But again, if we fake out, that's just going to be completely invalidated. And we're not always in an area, guys, where these fake outs are likely. If you're new to TA, you might be thinking like, well, why am I going to pay attention to TA if it's like we're always very likely to fake out? It's only the specific part of the cycle that we're in right now. Almost, and like I said in the beginning of the stream, almost every single other situation or area in the market, this is just binarily bearish, and I am 100% looking for shorts over longs. But again, I am long and short. I'm in one short and 2 longs. Is my light a little bit dim here, guys? Can you guys? Oh no, maybe not. I guess it's good. So that's kind of, you know, I am taking it into account, but it's not like scaring me and I'm like, oh my God, we're going to zero because of it. So hopefully that helps you out. Of course, news can change the direction of any market. Yeah, shout out to Crypto Maxi, absolutely. And as we always say, you know, show me the charts. I'll tell you the news, right? You know, people were saying, it's like the ETF approval, right? Like, sure, super, super bullish, very likely to give us continued move up. But once we were cracking that macro value area, macro golden pocket on the ETF approval with a massive bearish divergence on the daily and the 2-day, honestly. But, you know, this was like very bullish for Bitcoin. Everybody was over bullish. And we were looking for the pullback just based off the charts. I don't think this was really based off news, was it? I don't think it was a big news story here. But show me the charts. I will tell you the news almost every single time. I'm not saying like a black swan. Yeah, you might not be able to predict black swans, unless we get the black swan I'm expecting. If we get a black swan, guys, and it winds up being the thing that we always talk about it being, maybe like something like WW3 or some kind of scare like that, you 100%, if that is the case, God forbid that ever happened, I will say you could definitely predict black swans by looking at the Bitcoin chart, and we've done it here over the past 2 years, if that happens, right? I doubt it's going to happen. I feel like there's no way it happens, but if it does, I will clip up every live stream we talked about it, and it would be really eerie. If we wind up getting the black swan we're looking for, everything's a scam, everything is fake, everything is controlled, and nothing is real, if that happens. But I doubt it. Anyway, let's see. Wait, hang on. Shout out to Golden for the 50 Frankie Candles membership. Bing bong, let's go. There he is, Golden the GOAT, dropping those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Thank you so much, bro. And shout out to Edward Diamond Hands and Haters Gonna Cry. Shout out to Bullish Bradley. Everybody who just got a membership, drop that golden emoji in the chat and start one of those golden waterfalls that we absolutely love on this channel. Drop them in the chat right now. But continuing on here, guys, simply put, I do just want to touch on this before we get on to the altcoins, which are coming up just about right now. But one thing I do want to talk about here, guys, is I want everybody to remember, right? We've had a very boring 2 months of price action, right? We basically went sideways for 2 months other than this little slip below the range. But one thing I do want to talk about is this. Simply put, as you guys know, last week and the week before, we've been looking at, even in my market updates, talking about the two contexts that I've been looking at the market in. Number one was the upper value area, which I don't know why the fixed range isn't in there. But it's, I guess these levels have changed because we got a little pump, but technically it was this value area. But, as we sit here and look at the charts, we have this simple upper range, right? And then we also had this lower volume profile, right? So upper range, value area high, value area low. And then we had our lower range, value area high, value area low. This, excuse me, is a level that we've been waiting for quite some time, right? We bing-bonged around here saying, oh, I would really love a move back down to this value area low for a long. Oh, I'd like a move down to this value area low. We didn't get it. We didn't get it. We didn't get it. We didn't get it. We finally got it. And patience wound up paying off there that is literally where we got the bounce from. And what I want to show you guys is the simplicity of using the volume profiles, right? I know when we have all our TA up there, it could look super confusing. We have all these levels, daily naked points of controls, POCs, value area highs, horizontal levels, Fibonacci levels, all this complicated stuff. But this is why I like to come on here and really break things down simply for you. And if you saw my market update last week, we had the upper range, and then we simply had the lower range. And the thought process here was, hey, guys, if we slip this value area and we get a bigger move down, we are simply going to use that lower value area as context. So as we broke down here, I was not panicking, saying, oh, my God, where is price going? Why are we dumping? Are we losing what is going on? I simply take a deep breath. I pull up the lower range, and look at that. Now we have context into where price might go. And at that point, right, I may not be interested in longs here. Why? Because it's the POC of the range. This is a trade taken in the middle of the range if we longed here, making it a low probability trade. I'd much rather wait for the value area low, which is why we've had our eyes set on that $58,000 to $57,000 level for our next trade, right? Or the next bounce on Bitcoin for the most part, right? And then what happens? We get the bounce, and what does price respect? That lower range value area high almost to the dollar there, right? And when you start to look at and then what happens if we get, and now, right, now we're getting the bounce back up, right? So what can we do? Well, let's hide this range for now and look at the upper range. And actually, I do have to update these levels real quick, guys. Bear with me, just because, let me come down to like the 4 hour. Actually, we'll do it on the daily. Just because the value area levels obviously move over time as they are derived from volume. As more volume comes into the market, it will change these levels. That is the nature of the volume profiles. So there we go. Let me just grab one more horizontal ray. Bada bing. And there we go, right? So now we have our upper range. And what can we take away from this, right? Well, it is a little bit difficult, right? Because we have an upper range and the lower range, right on top of each other, right? And let me just drag this into here to make it nice and clean, right? So upper range, I'll get rid of this as well. Upper range, lower range. These are the two contexts that I'm looking at, right? And it is a little bit difficult when you have two ranges plopped on top of each other like this, because the question right now is, should I be bearish because we're at the value area high and getting a rejection, or should I be bullish because we are above the old value area low, and can we get a move to the upside? And this just adds to the confusion in the market right now, guys. This is an uncontrollable fact of the market right now. This is what we're dealing with, but it really does help. And I will say this. My little scalp long that I took earlier today is based off of us being above this value area low, right? And my short is actually based off the rejection of the POC here. So it is really hard. All I can say is you can look at both things, right? If we get above this value area high, right? Let's say we get up here and we start holding this as support. This is where I would be like, okay, let me hide this and see what this looks like in the context of the upper range. Well, hey, we're approaching the POC, right? So this is kind of how you can use it as context. So for my long, if I get up into this POC, I'm probably taking some profit, right? And then maybe my stop loss moves to break even or into profit, and then I can look for a flip of the POC for a bigger move up to the value area high. And obviously, you are going to be using other things such as money flow, other forms of analysis to try to anticipate where you're going next. But these are still the two major ranges, right? If we continue down, I will be looking for support on this POC at 61.43. We break that POC, I will look for a move back down to the value area low, where we could potentially look for longs again. However, if that daily money flow comes out, we know it's more likely to break the lows and come down to our next key level of support, which remains the same as it's been for the past couple of weeks, right? That 51 to 52 zone. But I'm not going to talk about that because we're not really close to that anymore. So there you go. Right now, those are the two major ranges I am still looking at, and the reason I bring it up is because I want to show you guys how respected things are, right? We looked for the long at the bottom of this value area, and then once we came up, beautiful rejection right off that value area high, and these are levels that we've been looking at for some time. It just takes patience to wait for the levels to get hit and then take the high probability trades rather than all the willy-nilly trades where you come down to the range low and you're like, let me long. You have to use the context, right? And it does take patience. Like even here, right? You might think like, oh, well, it's going to take it takes a little while to get up there. But sometimes the best trade is no trade, or sometimes the best trade is just simply sitting on your hands. But anyway, let's see, bada boom. Let's see. Shout out to Steven Sansbury. He says, great show as usual. Shout out to Steven. I appreciate you. And shout out to the 869 people tuned in right now watching the Frank Candles live stream. Go ahead and smash that like button if you guys want some free hats, free XRP, and a bunch of free Cardano on Friday's live stream. We're going to be giving away everything, basically. We're liquidating Frankie Candles and giving it all away to the Mafia. I'm just kidding. We're not actually doing that, but let's go ahead and continue on here. We will be giving away a whole lot of stuff on the... stupid Bitcoin said... free XRP stinks. Shout out to stupid Bitcoin. Yeah, he said JK. Yeah, no, XRP still going sideways, but we can take a look at that in a minute. But that's what we're looking at, guys. And I hope that, seeing price action finally play out here, seeing price action bounce from that level we've been looking at for quite some time now. We didn't know it was guaranteed to bounce from here, but this was the next major zone of support. And hopefully you guys remember, right? The SFP wick, these are the two major zones that we were waiting for major bounces or bigger significant bounces, right? The SFP wick here and then the value area low between about 58 and 57K. And we wound up not getting the SFP, but we did come down to that backup support of the value area low, and we did get confirmations. Shout out to the premium Discord. They weren't clear, but they were there for the bounce from that value area low, and now we simply rejected the value area high. So what I would love to see at this point is a flip of this 65.426 level, and then at that point, you're pretty close to cracking that POC. And then I would say, actually, I'll take the POC as that level, right? So really the level here is $67,062. Once you flip that level, that's where you're likely to come up to the value area high. And yeah, for the bullish case, guys, key level to hold. And it's just simple value area stuff, right? Hold the value area low. The next likely place for price to go is going to be the POC. Flip the POC. Next likely place is the value area high, right? We start to lose the value area low and come down. We simply take a deep breath, turn off the upper range, turn on the lower range, and now, this is not as significant of a level anymore, but you can look down below and you know that your next levels of support are probably going to come in at that value area low. And then you lose that range, simply put, looking down towards 51 to 52K. Very simple. These value areas make things very clean, very neat, and very simple, especially when you get the bounces and the value areas are respected as you would expect them to be. So there you go. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Daniel. Says, how do you see if it's getting a confirmation? Well, Daniel, that is very dependent on the context of the trade, right? All trades are not created equal in many different ways, right? Like, for certain trades, I'll be looking for certain confirmations, right? So like in the premium Discord, for example, basically what I do is I give spoon-fed trade setups, right? So I'll say, hey, if price comes down here, right? If price comes to this level, and I see sometimes it's bullish divergences with money flow coming up. Sometimes it's bullish absorption. Sometimes it's bearish absorption. Sometimes it's a swing failure pattern. Every trade is completely different. Actually, the little scalp long that I entered with the premium Discord earlier today on the live stream, which was right here, was based off of a swing failure pattern. So just to break that down for you, simply put, what we were looking for was a swing failure of this, actually, I think it was... come on to the 30-minute real quick. We were looking for a swing failure of this wick right down here for very specific reasons that I'm not going to get into, not because I don't want to share the secrets, just because I don't have time to go over all of it. We have to get to the altcoins soon. But basically, I'll just break this little entry down, right? And this is a very small trade for me, guys. It was kind of like a joke we were talking about. It's up 141 bucks here. There you go. Little $20,000 position. I mean, it's barely moved since we entered. Let me see if I could click this and... Okay, doesn't want to show my entry, but this is a small position for me. It's up 141 bucks. I'm going to let this ride, but this was based off the swing failure pattern, right? So it's barely moved. We entered like right down here. It's barely come up, but if we flip this, depending on how you're looking at it, this resistance that is sitting right here for various reasons, not just these weird, wonky moving averages. But if we continue up, that should pay out pretty well. But here's the thing, right? This is why I entered the trade, right? And I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't really do this. A lot of people charge for this, but I'll just break this down for you guys. Simply put, and this is only because you asked what kind of confirmations do you look for, and I want to be very clear, it's always different, right? But right here, we were looking for a swing failure of this level. This is why I entered for the most part. We actually don't have a lot of confirmation. This is actually a risk. This is actually a riskier trade, in my opinion. We do have some lower time frame. Wait a second. Yo, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hang on. I'm coming back to chat in a second. I have to have a serious talk with what's going on in chat right now. What the? 1, 2. How did this all go by unnoticed? Hang on. I'm going to explain this. I'm coming back to chat while you guys are spamming those altcoins. Not yet. When I say it, I'm gonna go over what's going on in chat. Golden, you are a menace, my friend. Oh, my God. Anyway, real quick. For this particular situation, this is called a swing failure pattern, where you try to anticipate where people's stop losses are. I'm going to say this right now. If you are new here, or you're new to TA, or you're new to trading, take notes right now, right? This is a quick little lesson on swing failure patterns, right? So basically, what we're looking at here is we have a little range formed here, right? You have low, high, didn't go to the low, deviation back to the low, right? So you basically have range-bound price action, right? Give or take. What happens at the bottom of a range, right? Simply put, I'll go over why exactly in a second, but simply put, we have this wick down here that we waited for what is called a swing failure pattern, right? We want price to break that level, wick below it, wick back up, and close the candle above. Not on the 7-minute, but on time frames such as the 30-minute or even the 1 hour is beautiful to see this. For me specifically, we were looking at the 30-minute, so we knew we had this wick here, and all we were waiting for was a wick below the level, a wick back up, and a candle closure above. Once that candle confirmed, that's our long entry. And as long as you are above this value area low, the idea here is to come back up and hit that POC and potentially the value area high. But for this particular trade, the confirmation was the swing failure pattern, right? So if we look at this in real time, we see price breaking this level, right? We get the wick comes back up, and then once the next candle prints, which is right here, boom, right? This is a confirmed swing failure pattern. Wick below, closure above. This is your long entry, right? And then typically with these, they do wind up moving pretty fast. This one has not moved very fast. This one's kind of crawling, which is annoying. But oftentimes with these SFPs, they are high probability and low risk because there's an easy area to stop yourself out. which would be just below that swing failure wick. So if we entered on that candle that I just pointed out, your stop loss would be just below that SFP wick, targeting the value area high in the POC of the range. But that's not always the confirmation that we look for on every single trade, right? That's just because we knew that this would be a good wick to look at for an SFP based off of some very, very specific strategies, which is SFPs are basically, you're looking to take longs, or in this case, you're looking to take a long right after all the other longs get stopped out, right? Because of the thought process, I'll go over this really quickly, and then we'll take a look at the altcoins. But if you are longing, this is the sauce, guys. If you are longing within this range, right, where is your stop loss going to be, right? Well, if you're long here, your stop loss is probably down here. So maybe those guys didn't get hit yet. But if you're long from here, your stop loss is probably below the low, right? The last swing low. If you are long from here, your stop loss is probably somewhere below the previous low, or maybe just below the range low, right? Just somewhere below the support level, right? Now, what this does is as people long the low of the range and they have their stop loss, a lot of the retail will put their stop losses below the value area low, right? Or below the range low. This builds up a lot of liquidity, right? All liquidity is stop losses, right? Or money in the market, technically. It's not just stop losses. But when I'm talking about liquidity, I am simply talking about stop losses. And if people are longing within this range, whether they're longing up here, their stop losses are probably below this value area low. And for that reason, right, everybody who is long from down here, everybody who's long from down here, their stop losses are probably just a little bit lower. And honestly, probably a lot of liquidity still sitting below, to be honest with you. But the thought process here is what happens when price comes back down. Everybody, let me undo this all. Everybody is going to be looking, right? We're coming down to the range low. You start to break the range low. This is where we are looking for longs to get stopped out, right? And then as those longs get wrecked, and we see that swing failure pattern, that is where we have a high likelihood of a reversal, right? And I have a video explaining this a lot better than I just explained. But the that is basically what we were looking at for this trade, right? And we confirmed that longs were getting stopped out here by looking at the order flow. I mean, here it is, right? This is still up from the premium Discord. We were looking for that wick down below. We saw a bunch of shorts opening down here, which could potentially add fuel to the fire if we get the move to the upside. But really what we saw here was that longs were getting wrecked, right? Shown by these wrecked bubbles, which tells you that the longs are getting liquidated, right? So you come down to the bottom of the range, longs get liquidated. As those longs get liquidated, you look for your position to go long, right? You want to wait for the retail to get stopped out, and then you want to jump in, right? And I talked about the premium Discord today saying, if you are out there and you have ever been in a position, right? If you have ever been in a position and you see price, you're like, okay, cool. If we come down to this level, I'm long. And then it starts to go your way. You're like, oh my God, I'm a genius. And then price just goes, and then just goes the way you thought it was going to go anyway. You are a victim of a stop hunt, right? A lot of people think it's like evil, market makers are trying to wreck you, or the exchanges are trying to wreck you. That's not really what's going on here. It's simply just a liquidity grab. And the reason this happens is because your stop loss is in an extremely, extremely obvious place, right? So if you ever experience something where you see price wick you out, stops you out, and then price goes in the direction you thought it was going anyway, as my chair starts to shrink, that you are likely a victim of a liquidity grab, which is basically to avoid that, you want to trade SFPs, right? Because you're waiting for all the liquidity. You're waiting for the liquidity grab to happen. You're waiting for retail to get stopped out, and then instead of having your stop loss where everyone else has it and getting stopped out with the herd, you are simply waiting for everyone to get stopped out here, and you are entering your long after everyone's stopped out. And this is, like I said in the premium, this is where you start to see yourself getting stopped out of your trades, right? And then price going in the right direction you thought anyway. And then that's how you could switch that to literally longing the bottom. Has a lot to do with SFPs, or at least for me, that's what helped me out a lot. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. That is literally what we looked at to enter this. But just to be clear, there's specific reasons, right? You can't just do this on any old wick. And many trades, I don't even look for an SFP. We look for completely different confirmations. So simply put, the confirmations are always different. It depends on the context of the trade, but we go over that much more in the premium Discord. If you're interested in that, check the link in the description down below. You guys can check that out if you're ready to take your trading to the next level. Let's go. Okay, so let's go ahead. If you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Drop them in the chat right now. Rob the Crypto Stomp account, the votes, and let us know what we're looking at. I'm going to take a sip of the Aztec King Cactus Moss Water, and then Golden is out here. Yo, what is going on? Okay, I got to cover these super chats really quickly. What is going on in chat? Holy cow. Okay, hang on. Shout out. Yo, this is wild. Okay, it won't even, it's like glitching. Shout out to Harry Potter for the gifted memberships. Shout out to Golden said I had to VPN back home and changed my date and time to match. Then YouTube let me gift membership. YouTube will not stop me. LFG Mafia, smash that like button if you guys got a membership from Golden, which, by the way, Golden, you absolute GOAT. Gifting, how many memberships did you just gift? Hold on. He just gifted 200 and something memberships. Unbelievable. Shout out to Harry Potter added into that. Unbelievable, bro. You're going to break another record here, Golden. Shout out to Golden. I appreciate you so much, bro. You're the GOAT. And if you just got a membership, drop those golden emojis in the chat and show our boy Golden some love. Unbelievable, bro. I don't know what to do with you, Golden. I feel like I need to, I don't know. I feel like I owe you my life, bro. Shout out to Golden. And I know the Mafia appreciates you as well. Unbelievable. Thank you so much for all the support, Golden. You are insane. Oh, and look, Frankie Candle's added to the gifted memberships, too. We just gifted 10 memberships. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for doing that. And shout out to Crypto Billy. I did this to, Tony D said, I did this to yell at, I don't even know where that chat went. Tony D's super chat is gone. What is going on? I think you guys broke YouTube. You guys broke my YouTube channel. Unbelievable. Shout out to Tony D was yelling at Golden for getting so much memberships. And then Crypto Billy with the $100 super chat, bro. Unbelievable. He said, I did this to yell at Tony D. FYP, FCU, hashtag givers gain. Guys, don't forget to check out Crypto Billy on Billy Goat Tales tomorrow at 9 p.m. on X. It's the best Twitter space out there. Go check him out. And shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you so much for the super chat. You guys are crazy. Shout out to Chasen Dana. Says, you're the man, Frankie. From 58, long from 58.4 and short from 64.8. Let's go. Shout out to Chasen Dana. I think that's what that says. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for saying that. And hey, you're taking the trades. We're just out here doing the TA. You are taking the trades. You're literally doing the hard part. And shout out to Harry Potter said, don't go long on XR Potter. It's a scam. Shout out to Harry Potter. I don't know if that's a joke or if there's really a coin out there. That's XR Potter. Shout out to you, brother. And then let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. I think that's it. I think we covered all the super chats. Shout out to Creighton C. We got one more. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you so much. What's with the super chats today? Unbelievable, guys. I appreciate all the love for real. You guys are crazy. Creighton says, let's just remember who was the first tip of the day. Yes, it was the smaller tip of the day, but size isn't everything if it had personality. Right, ladies? Ladies? I don't know, Creighton. We're going to wash by that one. I'm with you on that. But anyways, moving on, guys. Shout out to Creighton C. Always keeping a smile on my face, guys. You guys are literally the best community out there. Dave Digital in the chat. Dave Digital said, did you think I'd miss it? Shout out to Dave Digital. What is going on? I don't know. I don't know what's up with the super chats. You guys are absolutely legendary, though. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to Creighton C. Shout out to Golden. Shout out to Harry Potter. Shout out to everybody, even the ones not super chatting. We love you guys just as much. But with all that being said, guys, did we spam the altcoins yet? I think or that might have gotten, yeah, oh my God, yo. It's like a whole stack of super chats and stuff. I can't even scroll up in chat. But yeah, drop those altcoins. Rob the Crypto Stomp will let us know what we're looking at. But first, we're going to go ahead and start off. Shout out to Wick589. Let's see. ABT, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I can't scroll up enough to see if we spam the altcoins. But if we did not spam the altcoins, drop them in the chat right now. Rob the Crypto Stomp will let us know what we're looking at. But first off, guys, I want to start off on Ethereum, and or Ethereum, as your grandmother might call it. And let's take a look here, right? Super interesting stuff. And I'm not going to lie, guys. Confirmations may not be given on this live stream, right? But the key levels, sure, are. This is basically the local range that we've been trading in on Ethereum. And I will say this, like these levels are going to move if I pull them to current. But I will say, yeah, I mean, it didn't really move that much, I guess. But these key levels remain exactly the same. Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend. What is going on? Thank you for the super chat. She says, thanks for the membership. That was waiting for me. Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend. Welcome back to the Mafia. Let's go. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bing. I want to be a member. Shout out to Big Ian. Will you stick around here for long enough? You'll wind up with one of those memberships. I can almost assure you that. But let's continue on here. We'll take a look at Solana. There you go. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob, says Show Heath. And he's counting up the votes. Shout out to Solana. Mrs. Candles, guys. Mrs. Candles. She's getting the chops on trading right now. She actually longed Solana last night. And she's up. She's up. She's up. She actually lost a Bitcoin short. But I taught her good risk management, so she did not get wrecked. Shout out to Alex O. What is going on? Good to see you, Alex. What is going on, bro? He said, you help inspire me to change my life. I will forever be grateful for you, Frankie. God bless. Shout out to Alex O. God bless you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Good to see you in here. I appreciate you for stopping by. And it humbles me to think that I inspire anybody, to be honest with you. It's the coolest feeling ever. And shout out to Alex. That means more to me than you probably think. So thank you for saying that, bro. I appreciate you sharing that because, these are the things that I think of behind the scenes. This is what drives me to do this YouTube channel, for real. I don't just say that, right? That is the truth. So shout out to Alex L. Crypto. I appreciate you so much, bro. Thank you for saying that. But taking a look at Ethereum here, guys. I never get one. Hey, shout out to Ricardo. Well, now you got a membership. I assume that's what you're talking about. But here we are, guys. On Ethereum, local range, right? Very, very similar to Bitcoin, right? We have this local range. Simply put, as we came down here last week, we were looking for a deviation below the range low, right, which we did wind up getting. This is why we have the blue box here. Blue boxes are just support for me, right, or places I would be interested in looking for a long. We slipped that value area low. We got, I actually haven't traded Ethereum at this level, but I assume we had, very similar confirmations that we did on Bitcoin. Actually, to be honest with you, stronger confirmations than on Bitcoin, in my own personal opinion. Not really any strong bull divs down here, to be quite honest with you, like slight weird bullish divergences. But on Ethereum, you actually did wind up getting some better confirmations than you had on Bitcoin, right? You have this nice little 1 hour bullish divergence, lower lows on your price action, higher lows on your momentum waves. Money flow started to kind of creep up here and then finally crossed over and reclaimed the value area low. And then at this point, guys, this is not, I wouldn't recommend, shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob, said, pin my next comment. Rob, shout out to you, brother. I got your, I think I answered your DM. Thank you for reaching out. I appreciate you, brother. Trying not to bring any of that up right now, just because I kind of didn't really thoroughly read chat in the beginning in case anybody mentioned that. You know what I'm talking about. The reason we couldn't live stream was pretty upsetting on Friday, but I don't want to talk about it on live stream because you all see Frankie Candles cry for the 4th time in its entire life. Anyway, and actually, I won't even cover it, but we have this bullish divergence here on the 1 hour, guys, and money flow coming up, right? So we deviate from the value area low. This would be considered a bullish confirmation. I forget who asked, but shout out to whoever asked what you look for bullish confirmations. This could be another kind of bullish confirmation, bull div on whatever time frame with money flow coming up. It's a little more specific than that, but generally this would be a sign that you're going to get some kind of a reversal. And then the idea here is find the confirmation, which would be the bull div with money flow coming up. Could look for an entry there, right? And then your thought process from that point would be like, hey, right, I'm just going to share this, right? Let's say you got in on that 1 hour bull div. Your thought process would be kind of, hey, if we get back, I would expect to at least ride back up to the value area low. And then if we were able to get a move above that value area low and we were able to hold that level as support, this would be where you're saying, hey, I will look to hold the rest of this trade to potentially get a move up to where? The POC. And eventually, oh no, it's so scary. Oh no, it's so scary. Oh no. Nope. There you go. Bada boom. Right to the value area high, as you would expect looking at the volume profiles. And this is why we trade this way, guys, because it gives you, like, you can enter here, and worst case scenario, you get a 4% move to the value area low, right? This would kind of be, in this case, if I get an entry low enough and I can get a decent enough move up to the value area low, this is where I'll actually take a partial take profit, right? And then as I take that TP, right, you can move your stop loss to break even, making it a guaranteed winning trade. If you dump and you get stopped out, you get paid, right? You still win the trade. And then if price gets back into the value area and continues up to the POC and value area high as you would expect, you would simply turn that smaller trade into a much bigger trade. Sometimes I don't even TP at the value area low. I just monitor it closely to see if we can get back in. But that's the basis of trading the volume profiles. You deviate below the low, find the confirmations, and then you're looking to ride back up into the value area low, POC value area high. Very simply put, it's really finding those good confirmations that is the key to getting into these fire trades. And you could same thing to the upside, guys, right? Deviate from the high. I mean, even here, very clearly, higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves. And this is even easier to see on Lux Algo. If you are new to the charts, especially, you know, I can even turn some of this off. Really what I wanted to show here was the oscillator matrix. If you are using Lux Algo, this is, especially if you're using it in cooperation with our Frankie Candles, Lux Algo Frankie Candles Essentials, this is like beautiful, right? Because all you're doing is waiting for a deviation above the value area, and then you can see Lux Algo marks out that bearish divergence for you, right? You have your higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves, and then you also get the strong reversal signal here, letting you know, like, hey, you may be a little overheated here, and at that point, you're simply looking at this as a deviation above the high. Lux Algo gives you the bearish confirmation, right? Lux Algo simply gives you the bearish confirmation of the bear div. And then, you know, you could take the strong reversal signal into account as well. And then you look for a move at least to the value area high. And once you get back down below that value area high and you can't get back above, you're looking to fulfill that as a full rotation of a value area trade, right? So you're looking for up here, divergence. You try to find your entry up there using that divergence as context. And then you're looking for, I would at least expect to move down to the value area low or value area high, right? And this was what? Almost a 3% move, almost exactly what happened down here in the opposite direction. And you could either take profit or just kind of analyze this closely, anticipating a move back into the value area. And then once you reject back down to the POC and you're back, you're decisively back into your volume profile, you could just look to ride that back down to your value area low. Simply put, deviate from the high, look for your short to the low, deviate the low, look for your long up to the high. The road there is oftentimes very scary and indecisive, but if you trust the plan, more often than not, you do get there, right? Based off the TA, right? Assuming that the TA is in agreement, right? You don't want to just long the value area low if everything is screaming go down. But Lux Algo, I mean, even down here, right? You got the bull div. I mean, yeah. You even got the bull div confirmation with the two strong reversal signals here on the oscillator matrix, letting you know, hey, you're below the value. It's not letting you know you're below the value area low, but it's letting you know, hey, bull div, you're a bit oversold, right? You may get that reversal, and you're looking at the volume profile saying, yeah, I mean, this is where I'm looking for longs anyway. I'll look for a reversal. And then bada boom, back above that value area low, POC, value area high. Very simply put. Now, where are we going next? Simply put, I would look in context of this volume profile. If we continue down, your key level of support does remain $3,000, which is still the value area low of the range. And as long as you remain above that level, I would look to respect this range, right? If you lose this range to the downside, I will simply look for a bigger move down to this daily level, sitting at 2642. This is kind of the same thing we've been looking at on Ethereum for quite some time. But it's nice. We're within this volume profile. We rejected the high. We held the low. So I will continue to look for that to play out until we lose this decisively. If we get the bigger move down, looking at the daily at 2642. If we break out to the upside, simply put, just like on Bitcoin, we look at the larger range, right? With your POC sitting at 3511, and then again, you know, it's very similar to Bitcoin. You're just using the volume profile as context, right? So if you wind up getting above your value area high and you start holding it as support and you're not getting bearish confirmations to short back into the range, this is where you can say, hey, maybe we're getting accepted back into the upper range, in which case the next stop would be the POC at 3,500. I mean, this is pretty simply put the context that we're looking at, that I would be looking at the market in right now, at least for Ethereum, right? So those are the two major ranges and how I'd be handling things. Other than that, yeah, I mean, we could take a look at, yeah, I would expect these ranges to get respected until they don't, right? Longs at the lows, shorts at the highs with the confirmations. Shout out to Lux Algo for making the divs super easy to see. Shout out to Lux Algo. You guys can check the link in the description down below if you guys want to check out any of their indicators, which they have a ton. This one is paid, but they also have 160 free indicators that you guys can try, and I highly recommend. Shout out to Lux Algo. Let's go ahead and continue on. Other than that, you know, looking very similar to Bitcoin. Obviously, the daily is still a bit chopped up here. Red dot looking to print, money flow in the red. unless we get the fake out on money flow, this does binarily look like it'll probably come down at least to this value area low, if not potentially even lower. But again, fake out likely. Keep that in mind. I hate that we're at that point in the market, but it is just a reality. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Golden gifting another 10 Frankie Candles memberships. Unbelievable. Yo, Tony D is like trying to hold Golden back. Golden, please. It's okay. And Golden's just like, gift. Shout out to Golden, bro. It means more than you think. Maybe you might know how much it means. So shout out to Golden. I appreciate you so much. He said, should I set a new record today and do 250? I think you did that, Gold. Unbelievable. He did. He just, shout out to Golden, bro. Unbelievable. Literally, everybody gets a membership. Shout out to Golden. You are this YouTube channel. Shout out to you, bro. And shout out to everybody who just got a membership. Literally 250 memberships. Crazy. Shout out to Mike, said never going green. Mike, you're green. Shout out to Mike. Drop those golden emojis and show our boy some love. We need a golden emoji. I mean, a golden sound effect. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's this. Not that. I feel like golden sound effect is this. No, not that. This. That is the golden sound effect right there. It's just like we're just open the jackpot. The golden light is shining on our face. Anyway, let's continue on there. I just know how you guys are. I could just see the chat going wild off of that right now. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Shout out to Tony D. He says it needs to be shiny, like a sword being drawn. Yeah. Like shooing. I don't know about this, Tony. Yo, you guys are wild. This is a bingo hall? Shout out to Mark Dutch. Let the sound effect be a big gold bar being dropped on the floor. Ooh, interesting. Shout out to Mr. Knives. But yeah, shout out to Golden, man. We got to get your own sound effect. Unbelievable. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's see. Let's continue on here. And take a look at XRP, which is our next altcoin, which is likely not that exciting. Oh, my God. XRP, do something. I'm just going to draw a random line. Go up. I don't know what to do with you. XRP still sitting in its range. Just not bearish, just boring. And I guess, I'll be honest, boring is better than bearish, right? But simply put here we are. I guess this long is still in play technically. This was actually a long that we shared on the live stream here. And it was simply just based off of reclaiming the value area low, which we are still continuously doing. So this is actually still in play from I guess from the 19th of April. So kind of a while ago. But it's still technically in play here. As XRP hasn't really done much since. It's just bing bong around in this range. And yeah, I mean, other than that, this is the context I'd look at XRP. And I'll give you some of the key levels here. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Got the value area low. We got the POC. And we got the value area high. Simply put, as long as we hold above this value area low at 50 cents, I would be looking for a move up to that POC. Now, take a look at Market Cipher. Let's take a look at the 2-day. Yeah, 2-day green dot confirmed, 4-day green dot printing. So we do have a 4-day bullish divergence here. This is actually pretty interesting. I haven't looked at XRP probably since the last time we looked at it on stream, to be honest with you. Because for the past, I mean, I guess this isn't too far off of, come on. Let me just measure. Let me measure. There we go. Yeah, well, actually, no. For the last 320 days about, we've basically just been in this range. So, but this 4-day bullish divergence here with the money flow crossing back into the green. Now, I will say this. Money flow is pretty choppy here. So, it's a little choppy, right? So, you could just easily flop back over into the red here. But for the most part, bull div on the 4-day, lower lows on your price action as you deviate below that value area low We have reclaimed it now. I don't think it's super unlikely to get a move to the POC value area high here. And it's nice because you have the context of the value area to give you a little confidence here. As long as you're able to stay above that value area low, could be likely, right? And then once you lose that value area low, you're like, okay, hey, we're losing the range here. What's going on? Do the extra TA. What does money flow say? What does, all your other analysis point towards at that point? Does it look like a fake out, or does it look like acceptance out of the range and a bigger move down is incoming? But right now, very clear. Value area low at 50 cents. We hold that. The doorway to the POC and value area high getting closer to 62 to 65 cents is definitely in play here. I actually don't hate these higher time frames. Even the 5-day bull div to the wicks, not to the bodies. I like to see it to the bodies. Yeah, 6-day bull div looking to print as well. And then your weekly VWAP is looking for a green dot as well as a weekly bullish divergence, at least to the wicks here. Curious to see what goes on with XRP here. It is looking a bit different than Bitcoin, I will say. I as long as we hold above this low, guys, I'd be looking up to at least 65 cents, 62 cents for XRP. Doesn't guarantee it's going there, but that's what the TA is saying. That's what I'd be looking at. Those are the key levels. And let me just pull this. This is likely going to be your next key level of resistance here at the POC Golden Pocket. And then I would also be looking right about here for your 786. Bada boom. So there you go. I didn't take this trade. I showed it live. But if I were in this, I'd be holding this up until at least these two key levels up here. So there you go. Just pure volume profile levels right about there. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Shout out to Andy. Said, my thoughts are as clean as a shower. And then spammed golden emojis. I don't know what that means. Well, I'm not sure. But shout out to you, bro. All right, let's continue on. There is XRP. Let's go ahead and move on to Phantom, or as some people like to say, Phantom. Let's go ahead and jump in here. We could probably just start a new chart here. Let me take a sip of the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water quick. Shout out to Girth. Shout out to Girth Vader. Yo, you guys are too much. I don't know what the meaning of that word is, but it sounds silly. He says, how do I know if I got a membership? Well, you don't have a membership. I could see because you're not green. But you may have to change some settings in your YouTube settings. You just have to allow gifting. It's a little, I don't know how it is. Someone in the Mafia will point you in the right way. But you got to enable gifting. Otherwise, you won't be able to receive the free gift. So there you go. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. Taking a look at Phantom. A little Aztecian Cactus Moss Juice. Uncarbonated. But let's see here. So let's say, taking a look at Phantom. Yeah, this is just, let me see if I have something with a little bit more price history. There we go. Okay, so we can go ahead and clear this. I will go ahead and mark this out. Bear market, you got your bear market range here. I would actually pull it a little higher. Pull it to here, maybe? I'll take it from here. Right here. It's not much of a difference. Okay, so what happened here? We have our bear market range breakout. I would be suspicious of a retest here potentially, but the weekly VWAP is coming up. I just want to try to find these because we do have. If we do wind up getting another big move on altcoins, I do want to have these upper levels set. So I would definitely be keeping an eye. Yeah, I would definitely be keeping an eye on this range right here. Because this is our value area low, right? Nothing gets rejected for no reason, right? Value area low, tapped. This is what we found some resistance on, right? We have the value area low of the 2021 high, right? You have your POC, you have your value area high sitting right there. Simply put, if we were to get above that level, this is what opens up the door to much higher prices on FTM. Other than that, we are basically just consolidating right below that value area low. So I will just give you the key levels here as I will say, let's see, 2-day green dot confirmed. Money flow coming back up on the 2-day. 3-day green dot confirmed. Yeah, 12-hour money flow crossover into the green. Let's check that daily. Yeah, we'll have to see if we get this daily money flow crossover, guys. There is, simply put, we are either going to get the money flow fake out back into the green and get the big next leg up, or the short on Bitcoin at least will play out huge for us, or me at least, and the premium Discord, if it plays out as we'd expect. I really do like it's actually frustrating looking at the charts, knowing that this fake out on money flow could play out, right? Because generally this would be super, super bearish, right? Money flow coming out on the daily. 16, well, it's just like super chopped up. Now you have a fresh crossover into the green here on the 16-hour. 2-day money flow is coming back up. 4-day money flow is coming back up. Well, I'll be honest. The altcoins honestly don't look as scary as Bitcoin. So take that for what it's worth. But the major levels here, guys, as far as support, in my opinion, is going to be, let me see where this comes in. Okay, let me pull it back down one more from the low. Yeah, I don't really have too much confluence. So, these are just the obvious levels for me. This value area high, if you get a bigger move down, I'll be honest, this looks like maybe a little bit pumpy, to be honest. Like, it's not screaming pump, but that 60-minute money flow crossover into the green, that 2-day money flow just like kicking back up here is not the worst sign ever. And this is different than Bitcoin, right? Like, if you look at the Bitcoin money flow, it's just coming out. We're not getting that kick up here, right? I mean, even the 16-hour money flow on Bitcoin coming straight out, right? This looks much different than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is tanking on money flow on the 16-hour, whereas on FTM, it's like coming back up, right? Like, we're in a choppy area. But it doesn't mean you can't make money, that's for sure, especially if you're a trader. But next key level, right, if you get a bigger move to the downside, I'll be honest with you guys, I'd probably be looking at that value area high 786, sitting at about 44 cents. Very simply put, we obviously just bounced off the golden pocket recently a couple of times, right? So that is support. But once that is lost, the next likely place for price to go, in my opinion, and find support is going to be that value area high 786, in which case you could technically, still put in that higher low and continue up, right? Just continuing that bullish trend to the upside. So this will be a very, very saucy area to look at, in my opinion, for a potential bounce. But if we continue up, your key levels of resistance are pretty clear cut. Value area low right here at $1.03. This is your major resistance, and we may even wind up, because you obviously have a local range here as well, you may wind up, depending on how long this remains resistance, this may just kind of cause a range down here, right, until we can flip that level to support. And again, this is going to be, right, I'll mark this out as a famous doorway to higher prices, right? We get above this level, flip it to support. Very likely you see the POC come in. Flip the POC. Very likely to see that value area high come in, right? This is how we predicted many moves on altcoins, by looking at those previous value areas. We've already tried to crack above it, but we lost it. So this is definitely going to be your key resistance. Definitely going to be your key support. Why is this key support? Not only is it a 786 value area high, which makes it strong, but it's also key because we know if we get stuck underneath this, could indicate more downside. So keep that in mind. I'm less worried about this, and more realistically would expect something like that, just based off of where we are in the market. And the fact that we can continue. This would be a full 786 retracement, at least pulled from this low. And, to be honest, this is kind of a wonky fib. But definitely going to be watching this, because any value area high or value area low is key, because it gives us context into if that level is lost, we expect one thing to happen more than another, a.k.a. lose this as support. Then more likely that we come down to the POC rather than just, yeet up out of nowhere. So there you go. There is FTM. That is what I'm looking at. Let's see. Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend. Said, Creighton C, anything other than my nostrils or Frankie Candle's hat is extra money on only Crims. Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend. Let's go. That's crazy. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Our next coin is going to be Dogecoin. Let's check it out. Where we, here we are. Whoops. Come on. Get out of here. Okay, so let's take a look here. Looking at the daily, right? Obviously, to give context. Hang on. Let me move on to, no, not Bitcoin pair. Where's my real Dogecoin chart? Is this it? This is not it. Bear with me, guys. Do I just not have? Did I delete it? What is going on here? Bybit. That's gotta be it. Nope. Okay. Well, anyway, I guess we'll make a new coin, a new chart on Doge. So let me clear this up a bit. Let me mark this out just a bit. So let me go ahead and grab this value area real quick. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. Whoops. Go. Value area low. Let me relabel that. Bada boom. Okay. So can we get that value area to spawn? There we go. Okay, so simply put here, guys, I think we all know kind of exactly what has been going on with Doge here, right? We got the drop, obviously, in the bear market range, break out of that bear market range. He beautifully looked for this move to the value area low of the upper value area here. Broke out of that bear market range. Literally 2 days after looking for that, we got that push up to the value area high. I'll actually get rid of these local levels for just a second. But we wound up getting that move up to that value area low. We tried to break in, couldn't get it. Tried to break in, couldn't get it. Tried to break in, couldn't get it. And now we are kind of just doing the same thing that we were just looking at on Phantom, and that is just simply consolidating below the bigger range, right? So simply put, I would be using this as context, right? This is the context of Dogecoin right now. We have the value area low, right? So as long as we're above the POC. So as long as we hold above this POC, I would expect to come up and attack the value area high, value area low confluence, right? Because we have the value area low of the macro range, right? Potentially leading up, if we flip it to support, up to 42 cents, and the value area high of the local range coming in at 18 cents. This is going to be kind of like the key level that we got to get above, right? Let's turn this to shorts, right? So we bing bong on this, get a move to the upside. We have to get above this entire purple box in order to open the door up to that POC, right? Other than that, locally, I would be looking to trade. Bada boom. Come on. There we go. I'd be looking to trade this local range right here. Value area low, sitting at 13, almost 14 cents. POC sitting at 15 cents. Value area high, again, sitting at about almost 19 cents, right? So label that value area high. Hey, shout out to Anna Maria. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Says, hello, fam. Did you smash the like button? Hashtag smash that like. Let's go. Shout out to Anna Maria. Thank you so much for the super chat. And she said it, not me. If you got a membership today, or if you like Anna Maria and you got to like Anna Maria, I don't know why you wouldn't, smash that like button and let's get it to at least 550 likes. On the count of 3, I'm going to chug this Aztecian cactus moss juice, which may or may not be good for my health. I don't know. They say it's full of vitamins. I don't know. But on the count of 3, I'm going to chug this, and you guys are going to try to get to 550 likes before I finish chugging this. I hate to tell you, but I did go to college, so I'm very quick at drinking water, obviously. Do you guys ever have water chugging competitions in college? Remember? I'm just kidding, guys. I didn't even go away to college. I stayed home for college. I actually didn't have that college experience, to be quite honest with you guys. But I can still chug water like a madman. So on the count of 3, smash that like button. Who will finish first? Will we get 550 likes, or will I finish this drink? Which is basically mystery fluid. But anyway, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Smash that like button. I have a feeling I'm going to win this, but we'll go for it. I don't even really want to chug this. Man, I won by a landslide. Shout out to everybody who just hit that like button. I'm sorry, but yeah. Shout out to the Mafia. Let's see. But anyway, let's continue on. Smash that like button. I know it's lagging. We'll get to 550. I know you guys can. Smash up that like button. But this is the context I'm looking at on Dogecoin, guys. Other than that, daily VWAP, red dot on the daily is probably going to be the next thing to give us that bigger move to the downside. And with that being said, you have the key levels now. Feel free to screenshot. I mean, I can't help you. I mean, I can't stop you, even if I didn't say help yourselves. But go ahead and Yo, shout out to Zor. Says, too bad I can't hit that like button twice. Yeah, we're actually working on that. We're talking to someone from YouTube to allow people to hit the like button more than one time. Let's see. K Dignity said now Frank's gonna have to go pee in 10 minutes. Probably. I did just turn 32. Can't hold it like I used to. Anyway, let's continue on here, guys. There's Dogecoin for y'all, and I just say y'all. I've been living in ATL too long, guys. I'm picking up the Southern language. I guess better than you guys, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and check out ABT for our last altcoin. It's going to be a speed run going to zero. Anyway, guys, I'm just kidding. Well, here we are. Actually, we looked at this. Yo, shout out to anybody who was in the live stream. I believe on Thursday, we looked for this thing to potentially hold. Yeah, we literally looked at this on Thursday, looking for this to hold the value area high. And if we got that next big move up, we were looking for that next target to be between 360. Yeah. Somebody clip it. Somebody go find that clip for the love of God. Literally looking for this thing to move up to 364, between 364 and 398, where we had our next Fibonacci zone right here. And what happened? We broke our highs straight up into that fib pocket and a little bit of a pullback. Absolutely sniper level right there. Nothing really too special about that level other than it being a Fibonacci extension. But, this is what we do, right? We look for those levels, and we simply wait for them to get hit. Nice little tap on that. Daily red dot is printing, but look at your money flow. Could very well be on its way back up. I will say, guys, paying a lot less attention to the indicators as of right now for the longer-term direction. Obviously, I am definitely using them for the trades. But as far as the longer-term direction, guys, we may just be at the mercy of where we are in the cycle. Looking for that bigger move up, for that fake out on money flow. Very, very difficult to call. I will say I will just naturally be looking up towards almost $5 arc block if we break this Fibonacci level. That is, in my opinion, going to be the next stop. Very simply put. We hit this one, right? We broke out of the value area. We hit our first fib zone, pull back. Second fib zone, second fib zone, pull back. We break out again. This is likely going to be what we're looking at. So there you go. Other than that, big support down here between $1.23 and $1.06. This remains untapped, and it remains relevant. Other than that, let me go ahead and can't really extend this too much, right? But let me... I'm just going to go ahead and hide this fib real quick just so to clean up the chart a bit. This value area is still chilling down here. So, if you do wind up getting a bigger move down, you could still use this volume profile for context. But other than that, I would be looking potentially, look at this 10-hour green dot looking to print. I would love to see something like this on arc block real quick. Once you get that 10-hour green dot, if you do get a bigger move up, right, like let's say it's a significant move, maybe into this fib level, maybe not, could be set up here for a nice little bear div on the 10-hour, but it would require a bigger move to the upside. So I'd definitely be watching this fib level again at 496 for arc block. And I would also be watching that 10-hour green dot to potentially start the move, but very cautious as that VWAP starts to round back over on the 10-hour if we are getting that bearish divergence. Could be a good little area to look for some scalp shorts at. So keep that in mind, Mafia. And other than that, I think that's all the time we got for the altcoins. I believe we are right on time here. Yeah, shout out to Rob the Crypto Stomp. Thank you for giving us all those altcoins. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Shout out to the Mafia. Thank you all for tuning in and sticking around till the end here. And shout out to the 462 likes that we got. I think my light is a little bit dark here. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. And guys, shout out to everybody who is showing support through the super chats and the gifted memberships. You guys are absolutely crazy every single time. Shout out to Rakinos. Shout out to you, bro. Said, should we short Solana? Shout out to you. If you stick around for the Frankie fake out, maybe, just maybe, we'll take a look at Solana. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Like, Golden just absolutely smashing records with the gifted memberships. Shout out to Alex O Crypto for the super chat, Creighton C for the super chat. Everybody who sent super chats, I appreciate you guys endlessly. I truly mean that. I'm humbled every single time I come up here. I say this all the time. Sometimes I come up here, guys, and I roll that waiting room music, and I'm like, is everybody really going to come back and watch again? And I am pleasantly surprised every single time. It genuinely humbles me. And I truly do feel like the luckiest person in the world to have you guys as a community. So with all that being said, guys, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. We'll have to see what happens. Like I said, I'm long and short at the same time right now. But now you guys have all the key levels on Bitcoin, and you know what to look for the bigger move out. Not only the bigger move up, but also for the bigger move down. So you're prepared no matter what Bitcoin does, so you can make money trading Bitcoin, whether the price is going up or down. That's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you guys next time. You know the rest. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up from my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Shout out to Wick589. I know I just scared some of you guys. It's like a famous thing I do here at the end of the stream. I just scare everybody. Shout out to Ragnar. Says, what an awesome stream to find. Welcome in, Ragnar. Your boy, Frankie Candles. I answered you in chat. Go check out that free Discord, bro. We got an awesome community, as well as these awesome live streams every single weekday at 5:45. Thank you for tuning in, bro. We're happy to have you. And also, shout out to Wick. Said, don't be chickens, guys. The 24-hour live stream is just starting, and he is absolutely... wrong. Actually, not 24 hours today, but shout out to Wick589. But real quick, guys, somebody asked for Solana, and I guess let's take a look at it. So here we are. On Solana, here we are, guys. As always, looking at the volume profiles, and simply put, I'm going to do quick and dirty here on Solana. What do we have here in the longer term? If we take a look, excuse me, I just chugged all that Aztec and Cactus Moss juice. It's coming back up. But anyway, what do we have here, guys? Simply put, right, it's been taking a long time to see this stuff play out over time, as nothing is kind of a boring market right now. But what happened? We came, and again, this is what we just looked at on Phantom, right? We have our current volume profile that we were trading in, right? Once we broke out of that decisively, we knew that we had the upper volume profile that would act as resistance. But not only resistance, because it's a value area low, it was also very key because once we flipped that level to support, we could have anticipated a bigger move to the upside, targeting the value area high. What happened? We got the move, got the rejection that you would expect, and then eventually, it's hard to see on the daily because if we go to a lower time frame, you can see we came right up to that POC value area low, got the rejection, and then we hopped back on top of that value area low, and more importantly, the POC. That is what opened up the door to get the move to the value area high. Simply put, we bing-bonged around right under that value area high. We got the bearish retest, couldn't get back above it. Where's the next place for price to go? Very likely, especially if we get rid of these local levels just to clean things up. Very simply put, once you can't break out of that value area high, you are looking for a bigger move down towards that POC, value area low, and then we kind of just bing-bonged around. But once you deviate, right, could have looked for longs. Could have looked for longs. Get out of here. Could have looked for longs right down here as you deviate below your low. Couldn't hold the value area, but we came back down. Could have looked for longs again, and now we are back above that POC. So as long as we remain above this blue box, and the reason it's not just the value area low here, guys, is simply because the POC and the value area low are so close. It's hard to say that we have to flip. It's hard to say the value area low is the key level here just because we have key resistance so close, right? So sure, you want to flip that value area low to support, but you have the POC right above you, which is why I kind of just made this one big level, and this is the level that you want to flip to support before getting the bigger move to the upside. So very simply put, we're just still within that range, and I would expect this to continuously get respected until we lose the range low. And I will say this. Based off of our volume profiles, let me pull up the VPVR real quick on Solana. You guys can see a little bit of a gap here, right? So very simply put, if pull the upper range here, right? Value area low of this little mini range. If we really crack these highs, we could wind up getting, right? If we crack these highs right here, we could wind up getting a quick move up to that value area low. And then once you flip that, you could use that as context to anticipate a bigger move. It's basically just volume profileception, right? But for the most part, just like the real key levels to look at here in the longer term, simply put, hold this value area low POC, could continue up. Once we get to the value area high, that's your key resistance, but also understanding you have this mini range for potential scalp opportunities, or just to, remind yourself that, there are intermediary levels that you have to watch, right? So you have the value area low, POC, value area high, which are likely to give you some interaction on the way up, maybe some resistance, right? But once you eventually, at the end of the day, you are just looking at this as noise on your journey to the value area high of the larger range, right? Large range, mini range. There you go. And with all that being said, guys, now that is actually all we got for tonight's live stream. Shout out to Ellie for getting that membership. Welcome to the Hitmen. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. And thank you all for tuning in and sticking around to the end of the live stream. Shout out to Ziva with Hat, Crypto. Shout out to Creighton C. Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. Shout out to Cryptic Sniper. Shout out to Wick's Wife, Fine89. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Shout out to Wick, 589. Shout out to Dark Crash. Don't forget to drink that water. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal